So we're going to have a look at how we do conversions. Now, conversions come up in lots of different ways. So we could be talking about converting between centimetres and metres. We could be talking about converting between pints and litres. We could also be talking about currency conversion. So going from pounds to dollars, for example. We could also apply this same technique, works just as well with scale, where we're converting from the smaller map version to the bigger real world situation. Any situation like this where we've got this simple relationship, we can use the techniques that I'm going to show you. So in order to do conversion, the first thing that's important is you need to know the facts that link the two parts that you're working with. So if we're talking about measures, then they expect you to know all your metric conversions. So like 1 metre is 100 centimetres. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. You need to know all of those. They also expect you to know how to connect the metric with the imperial or old-fashioned way of measuring, if you like. So you need to know facts like 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Occasionally they might give you that information, but they do actually expect you to know these things. So things like 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimetres. A big one that comes up a lot is the fact that 5 miles is the same as 8 kilometres. So you need to go away and learn those facts. I'm not going to go over those here. Now, once you've established which fact it is you need to use in a conversion, then you've got to think about which way round do I need to use it. Do I need to multiply or do I need to divide? So, for example, if we were going from 4 kilometres to metres, the fact that we need to use is that 1 kilometre is the same as 1,000 metres. Okay? Now we're going from the bigger unit to the smaller unit, so that means it's going to end up with more pieces. Just imagine it. You imagine taking a kilometre, breaking it up into metres, you're going to have more pieces. So that's your clue that you're actually going to, in this situation, multiply by the fact. So we're going to need to do 4 times 1,000. So that means that 4 kilometres is the same as 4,000 metres. I know that was quite a simple number one, but the principle is the same even if the numbers are different. So let's just do a couple more. So here we go. We're going to do 11 pounds and we need to turn those into kilograms. So first of all, we need our fact. So the fact here is that 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Okay, so what we'd have to do in this situation is we'd need to work out how many lots of 2.2 pounds there are in 11, but there is another way that we can do this. Okay, so you could do 11 divided by 2.2, but unless you're going to use a calculator for that, that might be a bit tricky. So here's a slightly easier way to do it, and this works a lot with most conversions. So if 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, 10 kilograms would be 22 pounds. Hopefully you can see where I'm going here, because 22 is double 11. So 11 pounds must be half the size, so that would be 5 kilograms. I think you'll agree that was much easier than trying to do 11 divided by 2.2. So now let's look at another example. So here we've got to do 50 miles and turn that into kilometres. So first we need our fact. So the fact is that 5 miles equals 8 kilometres. So if 5 miles equals 8 kilometres, then 50 miles is 10 times bigger on this side, so it'll be 10 times bigger on that side, so it'll be 80 kilometres. So that was quite a nice, simple one. But let's say they asked us, instead of 50 miles, let's say they asked us for 60 miles. Okay? So we've got our 50, we just need 10 more. We know every 5 is 8, so 10 miles would be 16 kilometres. So if we add those together, 60 miles would be 96 kilometres. So you can use this technique in a lot of different ways. So let's have a look at another common situation. So this is the currency conversion. So for both of these parts, we're going to use the fact that £1 equals 1.4 euros, roughly. Okay. So in the first example, we need to take the pounds and turn them into euros. Now this is actually the easy way round to do it. It's always the easy way if you're starting with the one that is the one unit in your currency. So here we've got £1. So that makes this easy, because to go from £1 to 25, I multiply by 25. So that means to go to euros, I need to do 1.4 times 25, and these typically are calculator ones, to get my euros. So let's have a look. So we've got 1.4 times 25 equals 35 euros. Now here we're going from euros back to pounds. Now the euros is not the one unit thing here. So what we've got to do here is we've got to do 35 divided by 1.4. Now I've already shown you a technique where we can avoid that if we need to. So you can either do 35 divided by 1.5, which is fine if you've got a calculator to work with. If it's not a calculator question, then this alternative mode will be useful to use. So we know that £1 equals 1.4 euros. So £10 would be 14 euros. Okay, which means that £5 would be 7 euros, and 35 is 5 lots of 7, isn't it? So 35 euros, 5 sevens are 35, so 5 fives are 25. You can see obviously from the top example we did, so I've just reversed the process, but just trying to show you the technique more than worrying about the actual answers there. So learn the facts. If you've got a calculator, you just need to decide whether it's multiplying or dividing. Use a bit of common sense. Do you expect a bigger answer or a smaller answer? Should help you figure that out. And then if it isn't on a calculator paper and you've got to do it by hand, then try this approach. As I say, it works with lots of conversions, including working with scale.